Hey everyone, it's great to have you all here on our video, and we're doing a brand new series where we're talking to estate agents we've been working with for a while on their digital transformation and their journey in the whole moving from the traditional approach to a more digital and a more today kind of an approach. So first on the list, we have with us Craig from Bartram Co, an estate agency and independent agent based out of Toaster. And he's been working with us for a few months now, and he's gone on a journey where he's gone ahead and changed his website, adopted digital marketing, looking at more and more digital avenues to really expand his business. So Craig, first of all, thank you very much for coming on this show.
And, You're welcome.
And so the first question, I always wanted to know what prompted the change in your whole approach?
COVID or the lockdown. The actual lockdown itself destroyed our pipeline, and as we started to come out of lockdown, I really wanted to take a step back and have a complete overview of what we had been doing, what we should be doing, and that's when I contacted you, Nitin, to see what Starberry could do for us. Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey, and one that I'm very glad to have undertaken, because it's opened my eyes to the improvements that we had to make to stay, competitive in our area.
Yeah, I mean, COVID actually prompted a lot of change, across the industry. And like my CEO, Ben, always used to say, he's been banging his head for years to get agents to come on Zoom and, adopt a more digital approach. And COVID, I think, slightly pushed people, whether they liked it or not, in that direction.
Yes. Yeah, it showed me, I think, when I had the time to step back, and bearing in mind that, we lost a couple of staff during COVID. I work from the office, the senior staff working from home, and our marketing fell away. We did a lot of social media stuff, but it wasn't enough. And when I looked at what we were doing, we were falling away from our market that we needed to be far more involved in, and digital was something that I didn't really understand the importance of, but certainly do now.
Yeah. So the first step you took in this direction was to get a brand new website.
Yes.
And you built that through, the Property Jungle. And how has that whole, change in your website from maybe a website that was just there so that people know that you exist, to a site that actually is now generating leads, via the digital marketing and everything that we're doing? So how has that changed your whole opinion about having a website that actually works for you?
Well, you're quite right. I mean, before it, whether static is the word or not, I don't know, but it was there, and people could look at it, and we used to put the odd link onto Facebook and Twitter, but we didn't see it as a tool to generate inquiries, and now we've gone the search engine optimized route with the website, and we're starting to see the analytics. I'm learning lots of big words now, and it's quite clear that the website is working for us as a tool, as opposed to just sitting there for people to go and look at, and it's made a big difference. And I did recently make a couple of changes to the template, and the experience of that was absolutely brilliant. The Property Jungle were fantastic. The maintenance team were brilliant, and they really helped a lot. Did it quickly, and it's now sorted. So I'm really pleased, because prior to that, it was a very, very clunky operation to get anything done.
Great. And, obviously having a really good website is only half the story. The remaining part is, driving the traffic through digital marketing. And,
Yeah.
you've started out by, opting for one of the exclusive guild packages that we have on offer that focuses a lot on the local SEO and Google Ads side of things. And have you noticed that this approach has actually given you much more clarity with regards to your marketing spend when you compare it to the traditional ways?
Yeah, absolutely. So, many years ago, we stopped newspaper advertising, as a lot of agents did, because, there was just no coverage that way. And when I started looking into the Starberry package, the growth package, it became clear that, we weren't doing anywhere near enough in that regard. But being of a certain age, I didn't necessarily understand, and I'm sure you remember our first few conversations, how important it actually is and what the reach is. And when we started looking into it, our Google listings were awful. We were on page 3 and 4 for different searches, and we had to claw that back. And I'm amazed that within, probably 4 or 6 weeks of you starting us on this journey, we are now the #1 agent on the search terms that we use in our area.
That's great to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's reflected in the number of inquiries we're getting, the valuation inquiries, the instruction levels have all gone up, and clearly that was the design in the first place. But I really am so pleased about the way that it's happened so quickly.
And when you compare your traditional marketing efforts and the digital marketing stuff that you're doing right now, what do you think really stands out in terms of being better or worse by adopting a more digital approach?
Firstly, it takes a lot of the manual strain away from me and members of staff, because you've got your team sitting behind you who are dealing with all of this. And again, I have to say, they've been fantastic all the way through, the monthly reporting, the explanations, the sort of the childlike conversations I've had to have with people to say, what does this mean or what does that mean? And so it's taken a lot of the aggravation out of my hands and put it into yours, which is great because it frees up the time. But going back to the volume of inquiries, the calls, the click-throughs from Google Maps, from our website, all of those things have just made a huge difference to the environment that we're working in as well. It's far more positive in here. The phones are ringing all the time. And, it's just very, very noticeable that it's bringing us the opportunity for more business. And we're seeing that now develop into pound notes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Getting to know that actual marketing efforts and ROI is being linked to it, and you can actually see the results. Yeah. And do you think that the real estate industry has been more receptive post-COVID to this kind of approach? Or do you think that, your competition or the market in general has been really slow to adopt this?
Yeah, it was obvious to me during COVID and the lockdown periods when virtual tours started coming through and people started using videos, that, and whilst I know they were there, certainly me, and I'm sure a lot of other people of a certain age were hesitant about using it because we didn't quite understand it. And I think that's part of the problem, is that you have to learn to understand it as best we can to appreciate what it actually does for us. So yeah, it brought on a lot of technology, which we're now using as well. And you put all of that together as a package, and what we're offering as an estate agent is far better now than it ever was pre-lockdown, because of this digital marketing journey that we've been on and are still on.
Yeah, and Craig, I still remember we had this discussion a few months ago where you were completely changing your shop front. And shop front as in you got rid of all the printed material, had a big TV put in and stuff. And what made you decide to go for that change? Because, it's very traditional of agents to have these printed leaflets out in front displaying all the properties. You decided to go for a 18 screen, if I'm correct?
Yeah. I'm sitting in front of it now. I think we're very lucky where we are in an old town hall building with 18-foot ceilings and 15-foot windows, and look out onto a market square. And having started this digital journey, I wanted to really stand out from our competition, who are in standard offices around the town. And my TV screen can be seen from 200 yards away, playing all of the adverts that you created for us and our virtual tours. We call it a marketing suite. People can come here and have a guided virtual tour through the property that they're interested in. We can use it to sell what we're doing in terms of service and what is different, our USP, to landlords and vendors, and show buyers and tenants. So it had always been in the back of my mind, and again, as part of the digital journey, we just really went the next step, and it's fantastic. Everybody loves it, and I've even had a couple of the other agents in the door saying, "Wow, that looks good." So yeah,
nice. I mean, it's always good when your competition validates what you've done.
Absolutely.
You find that this whole journey that you've undertaken and this whole approach in terms of being digital has reduced your load or your dependence on the different portals?
Yeah, I think we'll always have to be on Rightmove and on the market, and we're not on Zoopla, but I've certainly seen leads from your reporting coming in from different areas that we wouldn't have seen leads coming in from before. So, Google Maps from our website, and through the analytics, we can see what those are doing, and we can alter on a monthly basis how we're allocating funds to various forms of marketing, which ones are working best for us. And that's brilliant, because of course, you go back 10 years with newspapers, we blindly threw 500 quid a week, 1,000 quid a week at 3 or 4 pages of in the newspaper, not knowing what it was bringing us. Now we can see all of that, and allows us to target our marketing in various different ways. And you and I had a discussion before we started this meeting about other ways of doing things as well, and we're looking at that as an addition. So yeah, it's the whole journey has been fabulous, I have to say, and Starberry have been brilliant right the way through, from yourself through the whole team. Support's been fantastic, and I'm chuffed a bit.
Thank you very much for those words, Craig. What would be that one thing that really stood out and impressed you in this whole journey? Is it the website? Is it the way you see reports? Is it the way that, people are responding to the stuff that you're doing online? What is it that, really impressed you in the whole journey, and something that you think can actually help every agent out there, barring your competition?
Sure. Well, I think firstly, there's probably one thing that stands out the most, but that is in concert with everything that you've done and shown me and taught me, is the volume, the number of leads that we're now getting, beyond what I thought was possible. But of course, it starts with putting the infrastructure in, the digital infrastructure, for us to get those leads. So yeah, it's the combination of the whole thing, everything that we've discussed. But the one thing for me is the additional business that we're starting to see come through the door now. And within 6 months of us joining Starberry, we're now starting to reap the benefits of that.
That's great to know, Craig. And thank you very much for coming on and sharing details about your digital journey. We are in it together, like I mentioned earlier, and it's a journey that, we hope to keep growing and keep, looking at new stuff to really help you as a business grow and expand. Thank you very much for coming on our show.
You're very welcome.
Looking forward to, a long relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you and the team once again. And, just as a message to anybody else that is watching this video, go for it. It is well worth it in the end.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.